Thank you for joining us. I'm Heather Gauthier. Tonight's lead story is about Kyle Critchbaum, who's age 12, of Adrian, Michigan. He's had an obsession with vacuum cleaners since infancy. For years, he says, he's cleaned the house up to 5 times a day with one of the 165 new and used vacuum cleaners in his collection. Said a former teacher, "It's not that he didn't like recess, he just preferred to stay inside vacuuming." Older sister Michelle, interviewed for a July CBS News profile on Kyle, spoke for all of us. "He's constantly vacuuming. I'm just like, why? I don't understand." Tonight's leading economic indicators. Parents with too much money. Backyard playsets can range in price from less than $100 to the high-end outfits of $2,000 to $12,000 that would typically include fancy combination of rock walls, rope ladders, sandboxes, and tunnel slides. Maybe even a tower with roofs, rotating plastic guns mounted on the walls. All this according to May Report in Milwaukee's Journal Centennial. Also available, the King Kong Carl McKee Custom at 46 by 58 feet. Featuring towers 16 feet high. The price is only about $46,000 installed. Tonight's continuing crisis. In Northbrook, Illinois, husband Arthur Friedman persuaded his wife that after 10 years of marriage, they should become mate-swapping swingers, which he thought would enhance their relationship. His wife, reluctant at first, began to participate and eventually fell in love with another swinging husband, an event that precipitated the Friedman's breakup, reported the Chicago Sun-Times. Friedman, with an inadequate appreciation of irony, sued the husband under Illinois' alienation of affection law, and in June, a jury found in his favor for $4,802.87. However, the soon-to-be divorced Miss Friedman said she felt humiliated by the implication that she had been worth just $480 a year. We're unclear on the concept here at News of the Weird because community activist Therese Malik testified against a crematorium's expansion plans in 2005 in Cessnock, Australia, reportedly saying that the building was already a disaster for the neighborhood and that she had seen a ghost-like figure above it at one point. After the Cessnock Independent newspaper reported her remarks, she sued the publisher for defamation, claiming that her statements, when published, made her appear demented or irrational. In June 2007, a jury ruled against her because it was her words printed. That's the entrepreneurial spirit. Listen to this. World of Warcraft 2 is an online game as popular as Second Life, with warrior players amassing digital gold coins from every opponent they vanquish. And the greater they liqueur, the higher they advance in the ranks. Some players take the easy route, though, and buy their gold coins from dealers who mostly get them from Chinese gold farmers in Beijing and other cities. Men and women hired to play the game 80 hours a week, not for advancement, but to score coins that they can sell to other players at the equivalent of about $1.25 per 100 coins. This can be marked up to $20 per 100 retail, according to a June New York Times Magazine article. Tonight's Oops is all about inattentive drivers. Trucker Merv Bontrager accidentally crashed his 18-wheeler in Minot, North Dakota in April when he looked away to check the floor for the donuts he'd tossed aside for later eating. Christopher Lind crashed his car in Vancouver, British Columbia in March when he tried to open the tightly packaged sex toy he had bought earlier that day while driving. Andrew Workman smashed his car into another in Shepley, England after he lost control when a bee flew through the window and stung him in the crotch, according to the findings of an inquest in April. People different from us. In July, a tractor-trailer overturned on Walker Road in Norridgewick, Maine, and its contents of nitrogen-concentrated chicken manure spilled onto rusted cars and the rest of the property of junk dealer Richard White. Days later, there's stuff still like 20 feet up the tree, he said. It was like a tsunami wave of hot chicken manure, he told the Waterville Morning Centennial. White grumbled that the truck company was slow on the cleanup. Probably, he said, because his property is largely junk. Quote, "They think I'm a hick and don't matter, but my life didn't smell like this before, and I hate flies." End quote. Tonight we're going to end with "It can't possibly be true, but it is." Hall of Fame lawyer Kenneth Glenn Hinson, 48, who had served time for raping a 12-year-old girl, was arrested last year after two teenage girls reported that they had been kidnapped from their bedroom and dragged into a tiny, dungeon-like hole in Hinson's backyard. Bound with duct tape and repeatedly raped. Despite the evidence, defense lawyer Rick Hofer managed to convince a jury in Darlington, South Carolina, to find Hinson not guilty on all charges in April, based on the girl's inconsistent testimony. And Hinson remains in jail today only on an unrelated gun charge. Thank goodness he's there, though. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again.